I'm not going to start this review with a list of specs or a sleazy hype rush. I know a lot of people feel a little uneasy when they're about to spend a few $1,000s on a home theater upgrade, especially when the market is saturated with flashy marketing and the fear of ending up with something that looks great on paper but falls flat in the living room. My goal here is to walk through what it's really like to live with the Focal Aria K2926 floor-standing speakers paired with the RX-A2A AVENTAGE 7.2 channel receiver, so you can decide if the bundle actually fits your listening habits, room size, and budget. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's talk about the speakers themselves. The Aria K2926 is part of Focal's limited edition ash gray line, which means you get a striking look that can blend into a modern core without screaming audio equipment. Beyond aesthetics, the real meat is the exclusive K2 power cone and the Aramid fiber diaphragm. In plain language, that combination is designed to move air with less distortion, giving you a sound that feels clean rather than colored. When I set them up in a medium-sized living room about 20 feet square, with the main listening spot roughly 8 feet from the front wall, the bass didn't feel boomy, but it still had enough depth to let movie explosions feel impactful. That's a direct result of the PowerFlow system and the floor-facing vent, which work together to let low frequencies extend without needing a subwoofer for most content. Now, the receiver. The RX-A2A AVENTAGE brings 8K HDMI support, which is great if you already have or plan to upgrade to an 8K TV. It also runs Denon's MusicCast platform, so you can stream Spotify, Tidal, or your local library to any room that has a compatible speaker. In everyday use, the 7.2 channel matrix is more than enough for a 5.1 or 7.1 home theater setup, and the automatic speaker calibration, Odyssey Multiple EQ, took the guesswork out of balancing the Aria towers with the rear surrounds. I found that after a quick 10-minute calibration, the front speakers were already delivering a sweet spot that didn't need fine-tuning, which is a huge plus for anyone who isn't comfortable diving into manual EQ curves. Who should consider this bundle? If you're an audiophile who already enjoys high-resolution music sources, whether that's FLAC files, Tidal Hi-Fi, or even vinyl ripped to digital AN, you want a speaker that can render the subtleties of a piano or the airy detail of a vocal without sounding shiny. The Aria K2926 fits the bill. The receiver's 8K capability also makes it a forward-looking choice for early adopters who want a single piece of gear that won't become obsolete when they upgrade their TV. The bundle shines in rooms where you can give the speakers at least 2 feet of breathing space. The floor-facing vent needs room to push air, otherwise the bass can become a little tight. If you have a smaller apartment or a cramped media cabinet, you might run into placement headaches. Who should skip it? If your primary use is casual TV watching on a 1080p set, or if you're looking for a budget-friendly entry point into surround sound, this bundle is probably overkill. The receivers in the AVENTAGE line are built for high-end video formats and sophisticated multi-room audio, so you'll be paying for features you may never use. The Aria towers are also on the larger side, about 3 feet tall, so they can dominate a tiny living space or be difficult to fit against low walls. And because they're passive speakers, you'll need an amp that can deliver enough power. The included receiver does the job, but if you ever wanted to swap it out for a different amp, you'd need to make sure it can handle the 120 watt per channel rating the speakers are rated for. Those power requirements can be a hidden cost if you decide to upgrade later. Let's dig into some practical strengths. The first thing I noticed was how quickly the speakers settled into a natural soundstage. When I played a live acoustic concert recording, the instruments were placed across the room in a way that made me feel like I was actually sitting in the venue, not just hearing a processed image. That sense of imaging is something many high-end speakers claim but often fail to deliver in real rooms with everyday furnishings. The second strength is the seamless integration with Denon's MusicCast. I could start a playlist on my phone, walk into the living room, and the speakers would pick up the same stream without any latency, perfect for parties where you want background music without fiddling with remotes. The third strength is durability. The ash gray finish is a powder-coated powder that doesn't show fingerprints as much as a glossy lacquer would, and the leather-wrapped grille holds up to the occasional accidental bump. On the flip side, there are a few practical weaknesses worth noting. The first is the sheer size and weight. Each tower is roughly 35 pounds, so moving them once you decide to rearrange furniture can be